Welcome to Portland, Oregon, where the rain just never stops. It's Kids Day on the campus of the University of Portland for Evergreen State and the Portland Pilots. Welcome inside the Child Center for Kids Day. I'm Brian Slyke, joined by former Zag Jennifer Mountain, and we've got your call today. Evergreen State has their toughest task to date. Meanwhile, Portland is coming in off of a tournament victory in St. Pete's. So what are you expecting today, Jennifer?
Well, a great opportunity coming off that performance in Florida. Coming back for the championship, going into Oregon on Saturday. So it's kind of a tune-up, and Haley Andrews is back in the lineup today. So it'll be a great opportunity for them to kind of see and get her back going, get that glue going, that point guard mentality that they've needed all season.
It'll be nice to have her back in the lineup. I know a lot of Pilot fans have been waiting for it. Well, today for Evergreen State, they're going to have a small bench, and so the Gooey Ducks, that means our player to watch, Monique Bungay, will need to step up in a big way, Jen.
And she really can score the basketball, averaging almost 22 points a game, shooting 52% from the three-point line. She put up 35 points last week in their win against Northwest Indian College. She's a guard that rebounds. She plays extremely hard. Portland's got to do a good job today finding her earlier in transition and making her put it on the ground.
Well, the Gooey Ducks are missing 5 players off their roster today for this game. How do they get the victory?
Well, number one, they have to limit their turnovers against this pace and the press that they're going to see. And they want to play their style. Like you said, they're missing a lot of people today, so they're going to have to slow, I think, the tempo down. Limit easy baskets for Portland, and the last thing is they've got to do a good job on the boards, both offensively and defensively. Evergreen
State's going to have their hands full as Portland has a strong post presence, and it starts with Lucy Cochran on the block.
Yeah, coming off a great road trip. She's got a season-high 12 points, 5 assists the other night, kind of getting back into the groove offensively. You know, averaging 6 points, 6 rebounds a game. She can score inside and out. She's a great rim protector, as we all know. Led the nation in blocks last year. She's a force to be reckoned with inside, and the Pilots need to utilize her on the block today with her size.
Well, you mentioned it a bit earlier. It's sort of a tune-up game for this weekend. What are the keys against Evergreen State today?
Well, number one, they need to guard the three-point line. Obviously, talking about, you know, Bungay that can really shoot it. Keep the intensity level. Coach Meek really liked what he saw last week. Limit turnovers, especially the silly ones, and then rebounding on both ends of the ball.
Well, the Gooey Ducks made their way down I-5, and the Pilots look to send them packing. It's Kids Day inside the Child Center. Lineups and tip when we return. Welcome back onto the campus of the University of Portland, for Evergreen State versus the Portland Pilots today. Let's get you the starting lineups for both sides. Starting with the Gooey Ducks. Monique Bungay, Jalen Sackrider, Sydney Van Ness, Tweeve Tran, and then Lily Stewart will get the start for the Gooey Ducks. And then Emmy Shear, Haley Andrews, a name that we've been waiting for. Back in the starting lineup today. You'll love to see that. There she is on your screen. And then you've got Maisie Burnham, Alex Fowler, and Lucy Cochran as your starters for Kids Day inside the Child Center. You can certainly hear them.
Yes, you can. They're right behind us, and it's what a fun day for all the local schools around here. And just, it's a great crowd. Most people we've had in the stands all year.
Portland will be wearing white with Portland in purple across the chest. The Gooey Ducks are wearing their green uniforms with Evergreen across the chest in white. Pilots moving it around the outside. First three goes up, and it falls for Maisie Burnham.
Well, great ball movement inside and out, and Evergreen State came out in a zone, which doesn't surprise me with the lack of people that they have on the bench. Don't want to pick up easy fouls, but good job of just being patient offensively by Portland.
Tran picks up her dribble just on the other side of the timeline, and now we've got a jump ball. It'll stay with the Gooey Ducks.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do is just get over half court and pick it up, or get in a corner and get yourself stuck against this pressure that they're going to see.
Here's another look at that three from Maisie Burnham. You know, for a team that has been relatively cold from the three-point line, that's a good start for them.
Absolutely, and it happens by going inside first. The defense has to suck in. You know, they kick it back out to Andrews, and then in one extra pass, and they get a wide-open look.
Yeah, currently, as a team, they're shooting 29% from the three-point line. Pilots work it down low, and Alex Fowler goes baseline.
Well, they certainly have a size advantage in, you know, in the paint, and just a good job of just being patient again, going down low.
Van Ness dealing with the pressure from the Pilots. Now it's Tran. And they just get it across the timeline and poked away by Cochran. It'll stay with the Gooey Ducks, 19 on the shot clock.
Good anticipation in that back row by Cochran. Gets a little deflection there and stops play. Portland in their zone.
Yep. Tran, floater over Cochran, and a rebound for Fowler. And I expect a lot of that happening today, is the shot being affected by Cochran's height. Loose ball, picked up by the Gooey Ducks.
A little sloppy there in transition. I thought they had the advantage. It just didn't make a crisp enough play or pass.
Shearer trying to get the steal, and we'll have another jump ball. It'll go with Portland. Meek will come in, and Haley Andrews will get a breather. So big first, say, minute 40 basically for her, just to get back into the game and the swing of things.
Well, you know, when you've been out, I mean, she's been out for almost a year. Just getting back on the floor, get your juices going, and she's going to be limited minutes for the next, I think, 3 or 4 games, depending on how her knee feels. But just smart, just getting some run and getting her in the field.
Kaitu'u and Bruno come in. Kaitu'u's pass denied to Alex Fowler by Jalen Sackrider.
And Kaitu'u's had a really good preseason. I love what I've seen so far. She's just got to take it strong to the basket there. Don't want to overpass against it. Make the game simple.
And there she'll pick up a foul. That'll be her first, team's first. Talk about being impressed with what she's been able to do. You know, the last couple of seasons, she was recovering from that knee injury, and it seemed like she just didn't have the finish underneath a lot of the times. And then this season, seems like a flip has been switched, and she's been nailing those shots.
I agree. Comfortable on the block, making strong moves, quick moves. You know, she can go both ways, and, you know, something that Portland really needs is just that third post contributing. So she's done a really nice job.
There, the ball got knocked out of her hands as she went up, but Fowler's there to clean it up.
Yeah, good anticipation by Alex right there. But Kaitu'u not being aggressive, kind of a little passive right from the start here.
Bungay with it, our player to watch. And that's 10 seconds. Today's referees, Charles Gonzalez, Stacey Blue, and then McCall and Watts.
You know, I think she kind of had the ability, you know, you got to know time on the clock right there is just getting it over the timeline. Smart extra pass, just a little too late in the clock.
Shearer, the elbow jumper falls.
I think today we're going to see a lot of different lineups. I think Coach Meek will mix it up quite a bit. Nice job there of getting a steal in the full court.
And some miscommunication with one player right behind the other right there on the pass. Meek has an open three, puts it up, knocks it down. And a timeout taken by Evergreen State as they are quickly down by 10. And we're only 3 minutes and 20 seconds into our game. It's 12-2 inside the Child Center. We'll be back with more action on the WCC Network. Well, it's a 7-0 run over the last 45 seconds for Portland over the Gooey Ducks. Portland, though, starting out strong. 5 of 7 shooting, 2-2 from behind the arc, 4 assists on 5 made baskets, and they've turned 4 turnovers into 7 points so far, Jennifer.
Yeah, just a great offense to start, and fueled by their defensive pressure, obviously causing those 4 turnovers off the press. And Portland, turning them into some positive points.
Tran with it, gives it up to Bungay. Now to Sackrider, and the 2 teammates run into each other, and they push it back out. Pass on the other side of the paint, and it goes for Lily Stewart.
Nice little high-low option, kind of mid-low option there for the Gooey Ducks. I like that possession for them, a little bit more poised offensively against that pressure.
Almost a turnover there by Portland as they keep it on the outside. Frawley with it. 10 on the shot clock. Out to Meek behind the 3-point line. 4 on the shot clock. Kaitu, strong take underneath. Gets her own rebound. And then it's slapped out of her hands. It'll be 19 on the shot clock.
Good find by Meek on that cut. Did a nice job. Just Kaitu didn't finish with her left. Good offensive board, way to follow her shot.
I like that Meek didn't panic right there with the shot clock going down too. Still able to find Kaitu, like you said.
Absolutely.
Lindsay back into the game with Haley Andrews. Short corner shot from Lucy Cochran falls.
Well, and that's a great look. Little baseline mid-range jumper for Cochran. She's really got a nice shot. Love to see her on the block a little bit more, but that's a good shot for her out of the offense.
Pass deflected over half court for the Gooey Ducks. Sackrider just inside the paint using the glass.
Good job of Evergreen, again, against the pressure. And that middle of the zone is always a spot that kind of hurts Portland, and they did a nice job of finding her at the high post.
Portland's up by 8 with 5 minutes left to go in the first. Frawley, the 3. Front iron. It'll be 1 and done.
That's probably a little too quick today. They're going to get that shot pretty much all day long. You got to get some ball movement going. Good steal by Andrews right there.
Andrews looking for her first basket of the season, and she gets denied on the drive. All smiles, though. I think she's just glad to be back out there.
Yeah, you just got to get your feet wet, get back in. It's like fall off the horse, you got to get back on, right? Just get comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have no doubt she's just going to be a great, addition having her back in the lineup. Just changes everything.
Bungay puts up the 3, back iron, rebound Frawley. That was the Gooey Ducks' first miss in their last 4 shots. Foul call. That'll be on Tran. That'll be her first, team's first.
Well, and like I said, she put up 35 the other night. I mean, I don't care what level you are. That's a lot of points.
Yes, it is. People forget that the NAIA level still has some pretty good talent.
Oh, absolutely. This is only their 3rd game of the year so far, so, obviously Portland has had a little bit more experience playing time-wise so far.
Fowler kicks it out to Lindsay, whose 3 is off the mark. Rebound Burnham, and she cleans it up.
Good job on the weak side boards by Burnham. She's had a tremendous preseason as well.
Yeah, we were impressed with what she did last season in her first year on the Bluff, and really excited with what she can build off of that. Sackrider missing that shot. It's a team rebound for Portland.
Well, you come in as a transfer and you got to learn a whole new system, and I thought she did a really good job of kind of gradually getting better and better as the season went on, and moved herself into a situation where we played a lot more minutes towards the end, but certainly been one of the mainstays here for Portland. Very, very consistent effort, consistent scoring, consistent rebounding.
Tran called for the foul. That'll be her second, team second, as Cochran will go to the line. Cochran, the junior from Melbourne, Australia, 50% free throw shooter. She makes that first one. 114 blocks last season, the single season record for the University of Portland. Actually, in one season, she put herself 6th all-time in program history.
Well, just obviously great length,
yeah.
But the timing issue, she just does a really good job of of reading the situation, reading the offensive player, and has great timing, great hands.
So Tran will go to the bench along with Lily Stewart.
I mean, she's also one that had to come in and learn the system, a transfer in from Oregon, and you know,
she was sort of that like year behind too, because she didn't come over that first year because of COVID. Great backdoor cut for Burnham.
Nice little alley-oop play right there. Back screen off the zone.
Zach Ryder with it. Excuse me, Van Ness. Gooey Ducks moving around the outside. Now it's Zach Ryder with it. Another shot from the WCC symbol. This one's no good.
Good job of finding the middle of that zone, though. Give them credit. They're good ball movement right now. Better last 3 or 4 minutes offensively.
Fowler finding Cochran, and that's strong off the glass. Yenny brings the ball up for the Gooey Ducks. Ten on the shot clock. Zach Ryder to Yenny. Gets it around Van Ness, putting up the 3. That's short. And a rebound for the Gooey Ducks. And it's Bungay who was down there. They get it over Cochran.
She's, you know, like we talked about, the fact that she can score, but she rebounds really well as a guard. I mean, she's not, you know, that big of a guard, but again, rebounding is sometimes just about effort and heart.
How about Van Ness just pulling up on the baseline right there, rattles one home.
Again, the last couple of minutes here, they've settled in a little bit better, handled the pressure full court, and got decent quality shots. Things change. Good job by the Gooey Ducks.
Pass inside to Fowler, and she sealed off her defender. An easy basket for her. Fowler now has 6 points to go along with 2 rebounds. Bungay on the run, halfway down and out, rebound for Cochran.
I don't think she expected to be open like that. There's a little bit of a runner, or either that or she kind of hurt her foot, kind of slow getting back.
Lindsay's pass deflected by Zach Ryder, and a steal for Yenny, and Burnham comes back with a steal. Ball still loose, Yenny on the ground with it, and we've got a jump ball. It'll stay with the Gooey Ducks.
Good hustle, both squads. And I think Bungay kind of either went off her foot funny. Yeah, and she's going to come out of the game right now. Just kind of got a little bit of a wince on her face there. I don't know if it was the land or the actual takeoff, but just landed a little bit different. They need her in the ball game.
I was going to say,
they can really shoot it.
That would be a tough blow for a team that's already missing 5 players off of their roster today. They only traveled 7.
You know, that's going to be a big factor right off the bat, is especially with the depth that Portland has and the style. They're running people in and out, and they just don't have a bench to go to.
Pass into the corner to Van Ness off of her hands and onto the bench of Portland. So it looks like Tran came back in along with Montoya for Evergreen State. Burnham in the paint, turnaround jumper, knocks it down.
Great cut from the weak side wing. Found that middle of the zone, and a great pull-up mid-range jumper. That's her game right there.
She's got 9 points already here in the first quarter. Foul on Kai Tu. That'll be her second, team's second.
A little too much body on the penetration there. Hands were out, but just kind of chested her up a little bit. And
so Frawley will come back in for Kai Tu. She'll probably sit for the first few minutes of that second quarter as well with the 2 fouls. Shearer on defensive Tran. 15 left in the quarter. Trap and a jump ball. Shearer had an easy basket. Had the whistle not been blown, it'll be Pilot basketball though with 12.7.
Well, that was a quick whistle right there. I thought she grabbed that thing pretty quick, but 12.7, you know, smart here, hold it before one shot. These are types of games that you can learn different things from too, you know, run different sets, run different stuff into shot clock, into quarter situations, and just get good opportunities. Went for that back cut again.
Yep, and this time it's Shearer who gets the basket. And that'll end the quarter. So an 18-point lead for the Pilots. They lead 26-8. Evergreen State's shown some life. They've made some nice baskets, but it's the Pilots who come out ahead in the first quarter. We'll be back with the second quarter on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Chiles Center. Just had some life brought back into the stadium with the kids here for Kids Day. And over and back called on Bungay. So a turnover for Evergreen State. And that makes 10 turnovers now at just 8 points for the Gooey Ducks.
Yeah, and the 13 points for Portland off the turnovers are a huge factor, obviously. And, you know, Portland ended that quarter on a 12-2 run against the Gooey Ducks. But like you said, a little bit of life there, just better offensive possessions for the Gooey Ducks in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
That three no good. Burnham chasing it down, ball still loose, and it'll go for Evergreen State. Well, Portland started 2 for 2 from behind the arc. Since then have gone 0 for 3. They're sitting at 40% at the moment, normally shooting 29 on the season. Van Ness in trouble, picks up her dribble, finds Bungay, and quickly through the press, it's the Gooey Ducks, and Montoya, who tried to get a handle of it before she even got the shot off, gets it to go.
Yeah, I don't know if she meant to make that little touch pass, but that was very nice.
Andrews almost had it poked away by Bungay. Emily Sewell in the game as well. This is her first action today. And 3 seconds is called on her. She was fighting for position in the paint. Zach Ryder back into the game. Apker Montoya heads to the bench. Van Ness gets across half court, dribbles around the outside. Bungay goes baseline, floater, back iron, offensive rebound for Stewart and the putback.
Good offensive board right there on the weak side and just went straight back up with it. Really nice job by Stewart.
Andrews gets it to Frawley at the elbow. Everybody's on that side of the court right now. Frawley goes into the paint, tries to beat her defender, can't get it over the lip of the rim. And it'll be one and done for the Pilots. Frawley ripping it away for a jump ball. And it'll be Pilot basketball.
I don't mind that rip and go, that high post drive by Frawley right there. Like you said, the whole side was overloaded. Nice take, just didn't finish on the play. But I like to see her try to get herself, you know, involved a little bit offensively. She's such a defensive presence, and she does all the hustle plays and stuff that doesn't show up in stat sheets. Nice find out of bounds there for Fowler.
And the assist goes to Andrews.
That is a dynamic duo right there.
Andrews now with 500 career assists. after that last one on the baseline out of bounds play. Fowler is fouled. She'll head to the line. And it looks like Bungay might have hurt her shoulder. She grabbed it right away after that. It's Bungay's first foul. That'll be the first one on the Gooey Ducks in this quarter.
Yeah, maybe when she went down to slap it, it just kind of twinged it a little bit.
And down and out. Shearer had the first touch, goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Pilots.
Great hustle, getting inside position right there off the missed free throw by Shearer.
Cochran takes it out to Andrews. Shearer, the three, no good. It was online, just short.
Yeah, I thought she actually had Andrews right back, wide open in the corner, but decent look.
Sackrider gets fouled. She'll head to the line. I believe that's called on Burnham. That'll be her first, team's first. Mikkel Meek comes back into the game along with MJ Bruno, so Andrews and Shearer will go to the bench. I mean, there must be no greater feeling right now than just to be back on the court for Haley Andrews. She had the biggest smile just now, even though she's back on the bench, but just to get back out there, move around.
Well, for all of us that have been injured at any point, you know, just the competition, you miss it, being on the floor, court, field, whatever it may be. And, you know, it's a process, and rehab is not fun sometimes, but getting her back for this Portland squad is going to be a huge factor in how deep they go into March.
Cochran in trouble, getting tied up. Gives it up to Meek. 10 on the shot clock for the Pilots. Great pass to find Fowler across the paint, and she'll head to the line for a three-point play.
Great find by Meek. You know, nice little penetration. Defense comes up and right. Nice little touch pass over the top. Take a look at it here. Nice little penetration. Finds Fowler down low. Easy two.
Fowler with 11 points already. Make it 12 now after that free throw. She's perfect from the field. She's 5 for 5. And that pass off of Tran's hand, it'll go to Portland.
Coming off an MVP performance from the tournament last week.
She'll be the first to tell you that to her personally doesn't mean that much, because she's been such a team player, and those personal accolades for one person, she knows that it's really the team that gets her open and allows her to do what she does best. And I think that's what makes her such a great teammate and a great part of this system, as she gets another basket right there for 14.
Yeah, and I think too, you know, with Andrews out, you know, they've talked about this duo for years, and maybe put a little pressure on herself right from the get-go of having to do more, and now she can kind of settle down and settle in a little bit different. Her leadership has been really, really good. And obviously the type of player that she is, yeah. I mean, offensively and defensively, it's just so versatile, my goodness.
Timeout called by Evergreen State. It's a 7-0 run over the last 32 seconds for Portland. We'll be right back on the WCC Network. Well, the energy is certainly inside the Child Center for Kids Day, as they've been non-stop energy since this game started, Jennifer.
Well, if they see their face on the Jumbotron, all of a sudden the whole section goes wild. So, but it's a great opportunity for them. All the local elementary, middle school. I think there's some middle school kids here too today.
It's nice to have the energy inside, especially for an 11 a.m. game today against Evergreen State.
Yeah, students back to school today after the holiday break, obviously, but yeah, the atmosphere is good.
Well, there are some classes going on right now. Bruno on defense, pass to Zach Ryder, top of the key. Say near the top of the key. Tran with it, and Lindsay is going to get called for the foul. That'll be her first, team's second.
A little too aggressive there on the ball, and you know, you grow a lead like this, and you're trying to get more steals, make things happen, and just get a little too handsy, I think, at times. And they play with such energy regardless.
Bungay puts up the three. Oh, can't get the bounce to go.
That's a pretty good look for her. She has not had too many opportunities to score, especially from the three-point line. It's all been off the penetration and trying to make something happen.
Sewell missing. Fowler gets the offensive rebound. Lindsay thought about the shot.
Good patience.
Skip pass to Bruno, inside to Fowler, quickly out to Lindsay. The three goes up, and it goes down for the Pilots. Their first one to go in their last 5 attempts.
Well, Portland on a 13-1 run over the last 2.5 minutes, and the Gooey Ducks have not scored in just under 3 minutes.
And that's now their 5th turnover in those 3 minutes, too. And Emma Streeline checks in along with Malika Samia as they get their first action today. Kelsey Lindsay right there on that three.
Well, when you look at three, and the reason why they're getting open looks like that is because the ball is going so deep into the paint. Fowler finding somebody from the perimeter on the kick out.
Streeline cuts in. Sewell found her, and it'll be an offensive rebound. It's Bruno.
Nice little cut and opportunity, just missed shot.
No second chance points this time for the Pilots. Now this is a lineup we haven't really seen together that much. We've got 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and then Kelsey Lindsay.
Pretty athletic lineup, though. Kids that can play inside out.
Sewell turnaround jumper at the free throw line, no good. Rebound by Bruno.
Good hustle. I think Portland's done a nice job of crashing the offensive glass today. Again, their size advantage doesn't hurt that situation whatsoever.
No, not at all. So the Pilots can't get second chance points again. And a travel.
And that's all Lindsay right there.
I was about to say, yeah.
Anticipating that. She was smart, didn't go for the steal. I think she recognized the fact that she didn't know she was coming from behind. Andrews back in the game here to get a little bit of run. And
she's played just over 5.5 minutes in today's game so far, and I don't think we'll see her play more than 10 minutes. Samia. The wing three doesn't go, and it's Bruno again, the offensive board. This time she puts it back up for 2. That's 3 offensive boards in the last 3 possessions.
Well, the energy that Bruno brings to the table is amazing. There's another one. Great job of Streeline getting a hand on it, and Bruno with the hustle play. But MJ just, her energy level, she just never stops. You know, she's a kid that played post in high school, so used to playing down low a little bit, kind of battling. So great job of just getting the putback, and then she's at the front of their press. So
yeah, talking with Coach Meek yesterday, he loves the energy that Bruno brings, and she's just learning to slow it down just a bit offensively, but defensively he loves every bit of energy that she brings. An offensive rebound for Evergreen State.
Well, it's just a little bit of body control offensively that I think she's really done a good job at. Sometimes a little too much energy, picks up quick fouls, but doing a much better job of just kind of slowing everything down. Oh, good find.
Great find from Andrews, but Samia can't finish.
Unfortunate right there, but good find by Andrews.
And a steal for Streetline. Nobody in front of her, and she can't hit it.
Great anticipation.
Van Ness gives it up to Bungay. The high arcing three doesn't go. And a team rebound for Portland as Meek and Shearer will come back in. Bruno and Andrews to the bench. Andrews with her 2 assists now has 501 in her career. She's one away from tying Sherry Larson 5th all-time in program history.
Well, we're going to be talking about her all the rest of the season, thank goodness. And right on that play, she looked like her old self.
Yeah, finding Samia, who's cutting in on the backside. Tight quarters down underneath the basket. And I think Sewell might have stepped out of bounds. I didn't see a foul call.
Yeah, they got her stepping on the baseline.
So Streetline, Samia, and Sewell will head to the bench. And we've got a timeout called by Evergreen State. So we'll send it to break. It's 41-13. The Pilots are leading Evergreen State inside the Child Center. We'll be back on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Brian Slyke, Jennifer Mountain with your call. The Pilots are on a 15-1 run over the last 6 minutes, and another turnover for Evergreen State. Makes it 19 now to their 13 points. Meek goes baseline, finds Fowler across the paint. She'll head to the line, but great find again by Meek. She's done that a couple of times today.
Yeah, another great, little penetration, one-handed pass to Fowler. Goes to baseline. That's just a great look. Chance for an and one, but just off the mark a tiny bit. We talked in the break there, the Goo Ducks really, they've struggled to score in the last 5.5 minutes, but they've had some good moments just struggling against this pressure. A lot of teams struggle against this pressure, especially when it's coming out with different lineups constantly, especially when you have 7 people on the bench.
Yeah, Portland's got the fresh legs. It's not Evergreen State, and so that makes it even more troublesome for her as Yenny gets trapped in the corner, throws it off of Fowler, and it'll stay with the Gooey Ducks.
Well, and if you're Evergreen State, you've got to stay out of the corners. You've got to stay off the sideline and not pick it up so you have options. It just becomes another defender for you.
9 turnovers in the last 7 minutes. They're one of their last 7 from the field and have not scored in almost 6 minutes. And another turnover. Fowler with it, gives it up to Kaituu. Shearer's running with her. And Yenny will get called for the foul.
Good job of Kaituu, kind of getting wide a little bit, making the defense choose, and nice little pass, and Shearer an opportunity from the free throw line.
Shearer makes her first free throw. All-WCC freshman team member last year, led the team in steals. And we kept talking about Burnham a whole bunch last year, but you can't forget about Shearer. She can put up some points as well in a hurry.
Oh, super athletic, super versatile. Does a great job in the full court for them defensively. She battled some injuries last year. Nice little pass.
Oh, Bungay, the touch pass across the paint to Stewart right there in the finish.
That was nice. But going back to Shearer, she battled some injuries a little bit here and there. Look, a little push right there.
Yep.
Lucy's got to be able to handle the contact a little bit better than that.
30-point lead currently for the Pilots. Just over a minute left to go until halftime. And defensive rebound for Kai Tu'u. Andrews looking up for the pass to Fowler, who finds Shearer on the other side.
A little Aussie connection right there.
We could put out our own Oceania team right now. As they just get it across the timeline with a second to spare. Stewart back out to Tran. Drives in, tries to go cross paint to Sackrider. Denied by Fowler.
That's just a great defensive play. Drop him down, getting a hand on that ball, and then grabbing the loose ball by Fowler, getting the block right there.
Andrews puts up the three. Front iron. The ball still loose. Kai Tu'u with it. 16 on the shot clock, or excuse me, on the game clock. 10 on the game clock. Andrews to the corner to Shearer. The three goes up. No good this time. Offensive rebound, 2 seconds. Kai Tu'u, no good. And the Pilots will take a 32-point lead into halftime, 47-15. On the WCC network, the Pilots ended on an 18-2 run over the last 7 minutes in that quarter. We'll be back a little bit later with some stats on that first half on the WCC network.
Even when I was little, just growing up, I knew I wanted to play in college.
I've kind of always just wanted to go here, so I'd come out to the games and like sit in the stands and see them, and like I genuinely believed that I could be one of them.
Being on the court felt like nothing else mattered.
I just thought it was fun. I've always been not the most athletic, not the tallest, not the skinniest.
I know what it's like to feel like you can't do it, but you really can.
I play to prove others wrong.
Go, Goose, go! Give us your prize! progress and making the people who supported me proud.
Trust that all the hard work you've put in is going to pay off. Go out there and try to prove each and every person wrong that's ever doubted you.
Running a race is one of the most physically and mentally challenging things, but crossing that finish line, that feeling just can't be matched.
Competing feels like I'm on top of the world.
All it takes is one conversation.
I'm just proud of their team performance.
All it takes is one opportunity to be successful.
Pick 10, they're in the championship round. Like, what can you tell me? I mean, what a celebration to have.
Being in the stands as a little girl and now being on the court, being able to represent myself and the game and University of Portland.
I used to see myself as just a basketball player. Now I see myself as a role model.
Here's to the next gen.
Welcome back to the Rose City here in Portland, Oregon. Brian Slike and Jennifer Mountain with your call. We welcome you back inside the Child Center. And got serenaded by a couple kids, a little Hakuna Matata in here.
It is a dance party in the Child Center right now.
Non-stop dancing for the last 10 minutes here as we welcome you back inside the Child Center. Interesting first half between Portland and the Evergreen State Gooey Ducks, 47-15. And Portland, they were picked up basically where we thought they were going to leave off, and that's a lot of pressure, full court, causing turnovers and getting easy baskets off of it.
Yeah, kind of just putting on a defensive clinic. I mean, 20 turnovers turned into 26 points off of that, you know, and just honestly, inside, outside, they've had great balance in the offensive end, scoring. You know, they got 7 people in the scorebook right now, and right now I just think they're flowing. I mean, obviously the opponent is a little bit different than what they played last week, but an opportunity to get a lot of people in, a lot of different lineups. Haley Andrews, like we said, a few minutes here and there going into Saturday, but offensively, I think they did a nice job of sharing the basketball. The only part that was a little bit low in the stat cord was the three-point line percentage.
Yeah, they struggled right there. They started off 2 for 2, and then they went 1 for 10 the rest of that half for the Pilots, and that's something that even Coach Mika's talked about with us before. That's something that they're going to need to improve upon. Only 29% on the season, so something to look at. See, Lindsay hits that third one of that half for the Pilots.
Well, their defense, you know, has fueled a lot of this, but in transition, they've been really effective. Right there, Andrews picking the ball up, going to Fowler, and just a nice little wraparound pass. But their defense has done a lot as far as causing turnovers, obviously. So I've really liked the patience once they haven't had something in transition, and they shared the basketball really well. Talking about sharing the basketball, 15 assists on 18 made baskets for Portland. They're leading in that rebounding category as well, 23-15. And then you mentioned it, 20 turnovers, only 21 shots for Evergreen State. So, and that has only led to 15 points for them. You know, what can Evergreen State do in this second half to, you know, try to get some momentum for themselves? Well, I think they learned from the first half because they had kind of spurts in there, 2 or 3 minutes where they actually were patient, got the ball past half court, didn't have issues with turning it over, and had some good looks, but they can't turn it over in the backcourt right from the get-go. It's easy buckets, easy transition buckets for Portland, and they've got to get quality shots. They found the middle of that zone. They've got to go back to that a little bit. You know, I also think it's going to be, you know, the depth right now that really, I mean, they got 7 people on the roster today that traveled. So with, you know, Portland playing 9 or 10 people on a consistent basis, that's going to wear you down a little bit. But they've just got to be smart, limit their turnovers, and get good looks.
You see the points off of turnovers, 26-4 in favor of Portland right there. As we start the second half, the Gooey Ducks get the first possession.
There's the middle right there.
Zach Ryder pulling up from the free throw line. She gets fouled. That'll be on Shearer. That will be her first, team's first.
I would anticipate Portland also just trying a few different things, maybe half court defensively, mix it up a little bit. I think they'll put pressure full court on and off this second half because that's what they do. It's hard to get away from what you do and what you're good at. But, you know, it also gives you a chance to work on some things maybe, you know, for future games.
Zach Ryder, a 47.8% free throw shooter from Elma, Washington. Missed her first one and gets the second one to go. So Andrews not in the starting lineup to start this second half, which kind of expected with the amount of minutes she played in that first half and the lead that they have right now. Steal by Bungay.
I kind of got blocked out there, but somebody got a hand on that pass from Fowler, tipped it, little deflection, goes the other way. Great job by the Gooey Ducks, I'm sorry.
And we've all been there. Bungay goes baseline, picks up her dribble, finds Tran outside. Now it's Van Ness. The Gooey Ducks moving that ball around. Offensive rebound for Stewart, and the putback.
Well, the one thing for Portland that you don't want to do is lose your intensity level. You know, you go into halftime with a big lead. You got to come back out like it's 0-0 and play another solid half.
Burnham knocks down the triple. And right now, Lily Stewart for Evergreen State doing it all. 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. And intercepted by Lucy Cochran. Finds Meek underneath for the easy 2.
That was a different combo. You got your 6'5" kid stealing the ball and giving it to your point guard. Usually it's flip-flop, but nice job by Cochran of reading that from the back line.
It seems like Bungay is herself again. No hobbling or anything like that, because it seemed like she might have hurt her ankle, and even with the shoulder issue on a shot by Fowler in that first half. It's a foul called on Bungay. That'll be her second, and the team's first in this third quarter.
Yeah, they certainly can't afford to lose her with limited numbers. But yeah, agree. She looks fine right now.
She struggled from the field today, though. 0 for 6, no points so far. Shearer rattles the 3.
You know, well, coming into this game, if you're Portland and you're doing a scout, you're definitely, your eyes on her with the amount of points that she's scored. So scout-wise, you're trying to take it away, and I think Portland's done a nice job of not allowing her to have looks.
Fowler gives it up to Burnham, and another assist for her. Burnham now has 14 points, and it's a 10-0 run over the last minute 9 for Portland. A timeout call by Evergreen State. 57-18. Pilots are running away with this one. We'll be right back in the WCC Network. Pilots have a hefty lead right now over Evergreen State, and the Gooey Ducks actually started out on a 3-0 run out of halftime, and then since then, over the last minute and 9 seconds, it's been a 10-0 run by Portland. A couple of three-pointers fallen from Shearer, and Burnham opened up that lead even more.
And it's their defense that has fueled the fire here. I mean, getting steals in the back line, getting nice opportunities offensively, knocking down a couple threes always helps. And hopefully helps with their confidence level a little bit from that three-point line. That's something they're going to really need to do a better job of being efficient. Little 1-3-1 back into the 2-3.
Stewart found Sack Rider, and it was halfway down and out. Lindsay putting some tempo into the offense right now for Portland. Pilots swinging around the outside. They find Sewell. Back out to Lindsay. Dead ahead for the 3. She's got it.
Well, Portland's post players have done a really nice job. When that ball's got dumped in, they get sucked in, defense gets sucked in, and they've kicked it back out for open threes. And Portland's done a nice job right from the get-go in this second half of hitting from the three-point line.
Yeah, 3 for 3 to start this second half after going 3 for 12 in that first half. Sack Rider, baseline jumper over Sewell.
Good ball movement by the Gooey Ducks right there.
And that's something we talked about in that first half. They've done some nice things offensively. They just have too many turnovers right now and haven't consistently been getting that offense.
Agree 100%.
Pilots continue to push it outside. Bruno's 3 goes up, catches iron. And Frawley can't get the offensive board. It goes to Sack Rider.
That's a good look for Bruno. She's been working on that part of her game.
Bungay, pass guy 2, floater, off glass, no good. Rebound by Bruno. Lindsay's take, no good, but she gets fouled to head to the line. And I know it doesn't seem like much, but that play by Bruno really shows you that sort of post-transition to guard right there, because she bodied up the defender, got the rebound, and then she's got enough ball handling skills as a guard to bring it up the court too.
Yeah, and it's a hard transition going from a post player to a guard. We talked about this the other day. Going from a guard to a post, you know, as people grow and mature and so forth, is a little bit easier, I would say. Not super easy, but easier than going from a post player to a guard. And, you know, she played inside a lot in her high school team. And really, I mean, she's in here before each game, you know, shooting a ton of threes and, you know, just, again, getting better from the perimeter.
On defense right now on Tran, giving her no space to breathe. Bungay with it near the wing. Trying to drive past Lindsay, does. The pass goes off the foot of Kai Tu'u. That'll reset the shot clock.
And Portland lucky there, because they're in man-to-man right there. Nice penetration, and that weak side guard had not dropped into help and got lucky with a kick ball.
Smaller lineup for Portland right now. Streeline in the game, and she'll pick up the foul right there. That'll be her first and the team's second foul in this quarter. An unfortunate turnover right there.
Check. He was gonna jump over the chairs, but decided to let one of the fans get it. That's a good decision. We don't need anybody going to the ER.
Bruno driving in, gives it up to Kai Tu'u, kick it out to Lindsay. She's already hit a couple of them, making another one. Lindsay's got 10 points, and she's hit 3 threes already. A 17-2 run here in this third quarter for Portland. Foul called. It's going to go on Lindsay. That'll be her second, team's third. Well, Jen, did a bit of research on Evergreen State before today's game, and Gooey Ducks, they come from Olympia, Washington. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a mollusk.
It's a clam. It's a
clam.
burrowing clam. A Gooey Duck is the world's largest burrowing clam. And they weigh about 2 pounds.
Can't even fit in the shell, is what you said?
Can't fit in the shell. And I love clams. That's a big clam.
That's a big clam. Hot potato between the Gooey Ducks, and Sackrider finds the bottom of the basket. And she now has 10 points to go along with 3 rebounds.
Well, it's been interesting because, you know, we did look at some of the stuff, but you can only find them in the Puget Sound and in Canada.
Yeah.
So,
British Columbia area of Canada.
Yep.
School opened up in 1971, a liberal arts college, and as Bruno drives in, gets the basket, she now has 4 points. Now, you gave me a fun fact. The oldest Gooey Duck, I mean, I'm surprised Charles Darwin didn't find it, 168 years old.
Yep.
How do you measure that?
I have no idea.
Pass up the street line, underneath the basket, trying to make a move, and she gets the basket.
Nice little footwork right there, up and under.
Chance Bucher in the game as well now for Portland.
It was funny because they were talking about, is it the best mascot around or is it the worst mascot around? All these people had all these comments about it, but a very unique mascot.
Say, unique is a good way to put it.
But kind of cool because it's, you know, Puget Sound area.
Yeah, it fits where you're at, where your school's located. Sewell out to street line. The 3, no good.
Good crash.
Ball still loose, and Sackrider ends up with it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, it's like eating caviar.
Well, that's something I've never, I can't say I've ever participated in.
I am not a caviar fan. I do like clams, however.
Probably with the steal. Takes it all the way herself. Her first points.
This lineup right now doing a nice job of taking people off the bounce.
They're quick in transition, too, with the smaller lineup. Sackrider, another baseline jumper, this time over Sewell. She's got 14 points.
She's made her living at the short corner right there. A nice little short corner jumper, that's for sure.
11 points in this quarter. That's the most by the Gooey Ducks today.
Good rip and go.
Frawley gets fouled hard as she hits the hardwood. Gets helped up by her teammate Inyeni. Let's see who the foul's called on. Sackrider gets called for the foul. That'll be her second. And the team's third. It's immediate timeout, 70-26. Portland with the lead inside the Child Center. We'll be back with more on the WCC Network. Good look at Keely Frawley. Frawley, a junior from Melbourne, Australia. Now, she changed her number this year. She was number 4 the past couple of seasons. Changed to number 2 in honor of her late father, who wore the number 2 during his rugby career.
Heck of a rugby player.
Yeah.
She probably would have been really good at rugby as well.
With her tenacity on the defensive end, no doubt. Frawley goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line.
Yeah, she's just relentless defensively, makes so many things happen. And again, not a huge point producer, but my goodness, all the other things that really make a huge difference.
So a young lineup out there for Portland as Sackrider turns around, no good. Streeline flies in for the rebound.
And a good opportunity for the younger group to kind of get some minutes, get some playing time under your belt.
Samia lost it. And it'll go with Evergreen State. So you've got Streeline, Samia, Bucher, Maddie Condren just got into the lineup as well. Then Emily Sewell.
A little 1-3-1 defensively.
Just over 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Tran got Samia to jump, comes in for the easier shot, no good, gets her own rebound. Van Ness steps into the 3, no good. Portland has connected on 4 of their last 5 shots. Condren trying to get space on the block. Pilots move it outside. 10 on the shot clock. Sewell drives by Montoya, puts up the baseline jumper.
It's a nice little move. She's got some length on her for sure, and I like to see her be aggressive and healthy. Good hands.
Yeah, she's somebody that's sort of dealt with injuries on and off, and now getting some playing time, being healthy.
Well, you know, it's always hard when you're out for a few weeks, kind of getting yourself back, getting used to things, and just your conditioning level, you know. Game speed is a little different than being in rehab.
Still in the 1-3-1 zone for Portland. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Van Ness to Yenny. The Gooey Ducks having a hard time getting any separation. The three put up by Van Ness. It goes this time. 5 points.
Oh, good look. Got to be a little bit higher for her. It was a little flat, but it was a great idea. I like Samia. I think she's going to be a really good player for Coach Meek down the stretch here.
Into the corner. Montoya's three is long. Rebound Streeline. Gives it up to Samia. Feeds Bucher, who's streaking down the sideline. Gets fouled. No foul call. And that shot is no good. That ends the third quarter, 73-28. Portland is leading by a large margin inside the Childs Center. We'll be back with more action on the WCC Network. Here's a look at the man. Coach Michael Meek in his fourth season, 290 career wins in his coaching career. 59 of them have come with the University of Portland, and Maddie Condren with the basket.
And a big old grin right there. Good for her.
I know we've been cheering her on, trying to get that basket. Happy to see that for her. It's Van Ness, who just made a three. That one's no good, but an offensive rebound by Evergreen State.
Well, you like to see a kid rewarded. I mean, she's working hard, trying to get better and stronger, and doesn't get a lot of opportunity to play, but that's pretty nice.
Yes, it is.
Evergreen in a man-to-man right now.
Bucher puts up the three, catches iron. Yenny with the rebound. Tran had an opening, goes in the paint. It was cut off by Bucher, but I think Bucher will be called for the foul. That'll be her first.
It almost looked like she stepped on her foot. Lindsay will come back in along with Emily Sewell. Condren will go to the bench along with Emma Streeline. Looks like Mikkel Meek will check in too after this free throw by Tran. Here it goes. Tran is a 75% free throw shooter from Seattle, Washington, a transfer from Everett Community College. 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
Meek on, Bucher to the bench.
I think we got a timeout here by Evergreen.
And I think you're right. We do have a timeout called by the Gooey Ducks. 45-point lead for the Pilots. 8:48 left to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be back on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. 45-point lead for the Portland Pilots over Evergreen State. It's Brian Slyke and Jennifer Mountain with your call. 8:49 left to go in our game. On the floor for Portland, it's Frawley, Meek, Lenzi, Sewell, and Samia. For Evergreen State, Bungay, Montoya, Van Ness, Stewart, and Tran. Lenzi's pass deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Portland. So some of the other things we were looking at, the notable alumni for Evergreen State. Now this is a bit of a unique university.
Yep.
And some names really stood out to us. You had Michael Richards, which if you're not familiar with that name, he's Kramer from Seinfeld.
Yep.
He went to Evergreen State. You got Macklemore, who, if you don't know who Macklemore is, you need to get out from underneath that rock.
Back in the day.
And then Matt Groening, the Simpsons and Futurama creator and cartoonist, as a timeout is called on the floor.
Some really notable alumni.
Yeah, notable alumni that, you know, doing a bit of research.
Artistic. A lot of artistic.
Yeah, it is the Liberal
alumni.
Arts College up in Olympia, Washington. The timeout again called on the floor.
Well, I will say that Evergreen State, you know, no matter what the score, has competed really hard.
Yeah.
And had some good moments, like I've said. It's just the pressure, I think, the depth, the pressure. You know, obviously the turnovers have been a huge issue, but they've done some nice things, and it's so early. Again, only the third game of their season, so I would anticipate them getting, you know, the other 5 people back. I'm not sure why they weren't here today, but we really didn't get an explanation of that.
Well, you talked about Evergreen State doing some nice things. They put up 14 points in that third quarter. They put up 15 points in the first half.
Yep.
And really had some nice offensive pieces right there, finding the spot in the open zone. Lenzi drives in, the left-hand finish.
She's done a nice job today. Looks very comfortable offensively. You know, she was kind of put in that point guard role with Andrews being out, and she's more of a shooting guard, a scoring guard, and this is going to free her up to do a little bit more of that.
Lenzi has 12 points.
They have 11 people that have scored on out of the roster today. Again, there's that depth and balance.
And Bungay lost it when she tried to drive baseline. Streeline checks in. Lenzi will go to the bench. Samia gets fouled by Tran. That'll be Tran's third.
Nice job of taking somebody off the bounce. Got herself to the free throw line. And again, I really like this kid. I think she's strong guard, good IQ. again, learning the system. But I've seen some good moments for sure, you know, these first 7 games.
I think you've got the perfect leaders right in front of her, too. And, you know, Haley Andrews, who can help you learn this offense and, you know, hopefully show you a few things that she sees out there on the court to help her growth going forward. And the 12 points by Kelsey Lindsay today is a new career high for her. Previous high was 11 against UC San Diego that she set earlier this season. Great pass to find Van Ness, and the finish. Sackrider with the assist.
Their little post-to-post passing, you know, short corner looks, high-low looks have been pretty good for Evergreen State today, and they've, like I said, have done some good things.
Frawley working herself inside, finds Samia across the paint. The tip, no good.
It's a great cut and a great find by Frawley, just didn't finish.
I liked how she attacked the basket too. Made a tough move before getting there. Slapped the ball out of Sackrider's hands. And it'll be Portland basketball.
I think coach wanted a foul on that one, but it looked pretty clean from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like it was all ball.
Yep. But that's why we're sitting here and the officials are there, Brian.
Exactly. 78-32, 6:45 left in our ball game. Streeline picks up her dribble. Hits Frawley on the wing. She drives in, finds an opening in the defense.
That's the first force play I think I've seen today by Portland. Again, being aggressive, which I love. Just, you got to jump stop and make that extra pass.
And they're calling a blocking foul, actually, on Evergreen State.
Okay.
All right, so the foul is charged to 44. Jasmine Apker Montoya, she was in the restricted area is what they were saying, so they reversed the call from a charge to a defensive foul. So Frawley's on the line.
Yeah, if your foot is in that restricted circle, it's an automatic block.
So that's good on the referees to get together right there and change that call.
Yep. Yeah, we got a good officiating crew today.
Tran drives. Sort of awkward steps right there, trying to find Van Ness across the paint and sends it out of bounds.
I think she might have had the wraparound the other way, but if it's the right idea, just didn't execute it.
Pass intended for Sewell, knocked out of bounds by Sackrider. 17 on the shot clock.
Really good ball movement by Portland, and Sewell just, she had position and kind of let go, and that's when the pass came in. Fortunate to get that back. Nice job out of the out of bounds by Frawley. Good find by Samia. They're really good in the baseline out of bounds. If you take one eye off or you just relax for a second, it's 2 points.
And we talked about it in one of our last home games. They seem to run the exact same play almost every single time. I think we've seen one different variation, because normally it's that bunny pass right underneath the hoop.
Yeah, they just catch somebody sleeping for half a second, take their eye off the ball, and it's right by their ear, and it's 2 points.
The Gooey Ducks have 4 turnovers in the last 3 minutes. Bungay finally gets her first points. She's now 1 for 8 from the field and 1 for 5 from behind the arc.
Yeah, she's had a struggle today. I think Portland's done a nice job of taking her out of what they normally do, but a kid that can really score, obviously, putting up those types of numbers.
And a foul called on Samia for the charge.
That's what she'll learn right there. That's a little inexperience, getting yourself caught in the air. You just got to make that jump, stop, and kick instead of getting up. It's the right place to go with the basketball. Just, you know, unfortunate right there, but she'll get it. She's going to have a great career here.
Sackrider, skip pass to the corner. Bungay trying to get separation away from Sewell. Yenny's been quiet. No shots today. Last year, if I remember correctly, she put up quite a few baskets against Portland. Foul called on Bucher. That'll be her second.
She's been, one of the primary ball handlers all day of trying to handle the pressure and just hasn't gotten it back.
Sackrider, turnaround jumper, no good. Bucher, the rebound.
I like Sackrider's got a nice high release. Good strong body.
Yeah, she's got 14 points as Sewell gets the best of her right there underneath the basket.
Good job of getting position and just going right at her. Didn't hesitate, just took it right at her.
Sackrider on the day, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals.
Yeah, she's had a nice day.
And you could easily say a much better second half by the Gooey Ducks than in that first half as Bungay's shot just a hair long. Four minutes left to go. Pass inside to Condren, knocked away by Bungay.
That's just too long of a pass. You gotta read the defense too. You gotta see that backside defender coming over to help. I mean, even if Condren catches that ball, she's got 2 people right on her. Just got to anticipate that a little bit.
Well, here comes one of those blob plays again. Condren up high, finds Streeline in the paint, and Streeline gets fouled.
Streeline's doing a nice job of just like a little up and under pivot. Pivot's really nice underneath.
Yeah, she's done that a couple of times already today.
Scored on it in the first half, that little step back.
Missing the free throw. Makes the second. Those are Streeline's first free throw attempts on the season. She'll be 1 for 2 now.
And that's one of the areas, they're shooting 64% as a team from the free throw line. You'd like to see that in the low to mid 70s moving forward.
Timeout call by Evergreen State with 3:40 left to go in our game. That sends us to break, 84-35. The Pilots continue to pile it on inside the Child Center. We'll be back with the conclusion of this one on the WTC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Sackrider off the mark there. Brian Slike and Jennifer Mountain with your call as the Pilots are pushing near a 50-point lead right now. Bucher takes it top of the key. Gives it up to Samia. Ten on the shot clock. Bucher gets the screen from Condren, tries to split the defenders, and she gets fouled. She'll head to the line.
Well, fortunate right there. They are a little out of sorts offensively. A combination of people that don't get to play with each other a lot. And a great opportunity for these 5 right here to get some playing time.
Bucher making the free throw. She's the last bench player to score for the Pilots.
Well, and 38 bench points today. That's
quite a bit.
Great number.
Bucher sees about 3.5 minutes per game. Yenny takes it near the wing. Now it's Sackrider over Condren. And good box out right there by Samia. You had Condren for a second.
Yeah, big post up right there.
There, now you got her. And 3 seconds called on Condren.
Well, and she's doing a great job. They got to get her the ball right
they do.
there. You got 6'5" with 2 feet, you know, in the restricted circle with somebody on her back. Give her an opportunity. Sewell's got to get that ball inside right there on that high-low.
As twice there that she sealed off the defender and had the position. No points in the last 3 minutes for the Gooey Ducks. 2:20 left to go. Sewell pokes it away. Now she's got a steal. Can't finish it. And the putback doesn't go for Samia. And now we've got a jump ball that goes with Evergreen State.
Great anticipation right there. Sewell just, you know, maybe a little too fast in the open court, I guess. Nice try by Samia trying to follow that.
Pass inside. Now back out to Bungay.
Ooh.
Oh, hard pick right there by Apker Montoya, and she gets called for the charge as Bucher was on the receiving end of that one.
Yeah, she got hit hard, and she's still gingerly getting down the floor. We'll take a quick look at it. You'll see just out of the blue.
At least she's okay.
Yeah.
No field goals for Portland in almost 3 minutes now. As we get down to the final, near 90 seconds left in this one. Bucher splitting a couple of defenders and gets fouled on the shot. I believe it's on Stewart. It is. That'll be her second.
Well, Bucher's done a nice job of trying to get herself involved offensively. Not afraid. Very aggressive. With the ball and without the ball.
Bucher now has 3 points. All 3 have come from the free throw line. She's 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. Yenny with her first shot. Seemed a bit quick on that release.
Yeah, but surprised, like you said, first attempt of the game.
Yeah, for somebody who was heavily involved in the offense the last time these two teams played. Streeline gives it up to Sewell, who puts up the triple. Poked away, and Van Ness ends up with it.
Well, one of the things that we were going to talk about is Portland is going to host.
Oh, yeah.
The Women's Final Four in 2030. Got the bid. That was announced last week. And just a tremendous effort by a lot of different people to make that happen.
I believe it was
Jim Etzel, Sport Oregon.
Yep, Sport Oregon was in on that one. Jim Etzel, of course. You had Scott Lakem, who also was a part of that bid as well, coming from the University of Portland. And I think that's great. I mean, you're seeing a lot of these Final Four sort of Midwest, East Coast, and you finally get one out here on the West Coast.
It's been a long time.
And to have it here in the Rose City, I mean, it's such a great place to host a tournament. We just saw it this past weekend with the Phil Knight tournaments going on.
And the Portland men had a great week.
Yeah,
4 days in that tournament. And if anybody watched that, I mean, I think you can see the elevation of that group. We'll get to see them tonight in action again, but just a great effort.
Bucher gets denied on the shot, but gets her own loose ball.
But I'm really excited for the city for that. That's going to be a major event. And I'll tell you, Portland does a nice job of supporting women's sports, and this will be a great opportunity for everybody in the city.
Yeah, I think you just brought up a great point there. Great job at showing out for women's sports, and Portland's done such a great job over the, say, last decade plus.
Yep.
Easily. Turnover. Nope, still loose. Bucher with it. Van Ness gives it up to Yenny. A lot of bright spots here on the Bluff and in Portland in general for the future as Yenny goes off the side of the backboard.
And this just should be a hold here for the end of the game.
Final 15 seconds. A 52-point lead right now for Portland, 87-35. Let the kids count you down.
Yeah.
And that does it. The Pilots take down Evergreen State, 87-35 in a game that we predicted would go something similar to this for the Pilots after their St. Pete's showcase. And Jennifer, your thoughts on today's matchup?
I thought both sides of the ball, they were pretty good. I mean, defense obviously turned them over quite a bit, easy points and transition and so forth. But I also thought they did a nice job of, if they didn't have anything, having tempo, inside out, shared the ball. We had a lot of people contribute and get involved today. And just to, they'll learn from it. And then, again, a nice game to get Andrews back in it, get a little bit of feel moving on to this weekend.
Well, the Pilots will be back in action this Saturday, December 3rd on the Pac-12 Network. You're going to have Jennifer Mountain on the call for that one. And if you want some more Pilot action, tune back in later tonight. The men take on Multnomah at 7 p.m. on the WCC Network.